Hi guys, it's reaction time. We got Pink Rose and Cheating Lady. I've been meaning to get round to this. I had it on my list for a couple of weeks and just got round to it today. It's been hard trying to keep up, as you guys know. I've been explaining in a couple of videos. So this is like a re-recording of an album. The whole album has been re-recorded from a 1986 French band. They've had one album out way back in 1986 called Just What You Needed. And they re-recorded a lot, and it's just been released, this album. I've heard some great things about it. So I said they're a French band. Let me just read a couple of things, because this I like this sort of story. So it says the label is not only delivering a 1986 cult classic hard rock album on CD for the first time, but also delivering a brand new re-recording of the same album, all in one package. So I think you've got, if you can get hold of the original and the re-recorded version. This is the re-recorded version of Cheating Lady. So it says the band is French rockers Pink Rose. The album is Just What You Needed, originally released on LP in '86, the best year in rock and metal, by the way, 1986. The album features Mark Key on vocals, Fabrice Fourgeaud on guitar, Thierry Golmy on drums, and Pierre Bromond on bass. So it says, formed out of the ashes of Antitat Rock, Pink Rose only recorded one album. But following an Antitat Rock reunion in 2009, the four members of Pink Rose started talking about re-recording the album. Then almost 15 years later since then, 37 years since the release of Just What You Needed, it'll be a disc 1 and disc 2 set, with the original remastered album Just What You Needed being the second one. So, man, that's a cool story, innit? I love things like that. And, you know, it's just amazing to hear that. And I never heard Pink Rose way back in 1986 as a little 16-year-old kid, 15 or 16-year-old kid, but it was, like I said, an amazing year in music, and can't wait to hear this. This is Pink Rose, this is Cheating Lady, 2023 re-recorded version. Here we go. Gonna stop it there because it seems like the solo's coming in. Man, I've never heard this band, but I'm glad they really kept that. It makes me feel almost warm inside it, thinking that it's from '86. I can imagine listening to it back in '86 and loving this, absolutely loving it. It's almost got the nostalgic feel of that era off to a T, and I know it is out of that era, but I think they've kept that in the re-recording. I know I can't really, it's a bit difficult in it because I can't really compare to what the old album was like, but it feels from that era, it feels great, and they've kept, they haven't done some sort of modern, so, you know, that part of the loudness wars and tried to like soak it in loads of like guitar layers and stuff. They sound like they've tried to keep the originality of that era. And they've done it perfectly, and it's just something that would just really appeal to me back then, and it does now. And that's why music sometimes out of that period really stands the test of time, because it was, the songwriting was just amazing. And I know probably later on in that year, that in the 80s, I think that's what the problem was. The songwriting didn't, you know, hit home as much, and that's why that other lovely type of music that we love, we don't cover that much on this channel, grunge, early 90s came in, because the songwriting wasn't as good as this at the end of that decade. It just didn't. It went downhill. All bands started to sound the same, and then all of a sudden grunge came along. It probably needed it, you know. Something had to happen, because it wasn't as good, was it? The music wasn't as good late 80s, I don't think. But what we got now, it's done a full U-turn, hasn't it? And we've got this music back again, and it sounds just refreshing as ever, and just shows you that great music stands the test of time, because there's not many, you know, there's not many grunge type bands. I know I don't like using that term much, grunge, because it's all rock and metal, but you know what I mean. There's not many bands of that grunge era that you hear now and it grips you. It's almost like it lost its way quite quickly, very quickly. You know, by the mid 90s it was gone. It was there and gone. And then, but this type of music stands the test of time, and I can go back to it now and it sounds as fresh as ever, and I get really excited about listening to it. Not so much when it comes to grunge, just the odd bit of grunge I can. But man, this is a great song. I love the high end vocals. I mean, this guy is, if he's re-recorded his vocals, what was his vocals like back then? I mean, he can really hit some heights now. Is it the same vocalist? I believe the band are the same, but man, his high end vocals are just amazing. I mean, if he's been singing in bands all this time, I don't know how he's kept his voice, but man, it's he's got a great vocal. I just love the feel of the song. It really gives me that feel of that decade and what was so great about it. Loving it so far, and the guitar solo is just about to come in. We're going to listen to that. Here we go, guys. Just brilliant, man. The guitar work was just amazing as well. Love everything about that. Even the little harmonic at the beginning. See that little guitar harmonic at the end to do that? That's typical 80s stuff. That's just brilliant. I love, you know what? Sometimes what I love about 80s music as well is the simplicity of the lyrics. And this is the sort of thing that bands get stick for now. People pick on bands because of simplicity, and it's not abstract enough. This, you know, what this song was about was a lot about what a lot of bands wrote about back then. You know, a woman cheating on them and they won't go back again, but but maybe they will because they love this woman so much. It's very lyrically as well, very 80s, very straightforward. And sometimes I want that, man. I want that. Why does everything have to be so deep all the time? Sometimes it's quite simple. But that was a great song. It's be interesting to hear, the difference in the recording. Obviously, they felt a need to re-record, not just re-release. They re-recorded everything. So very cool. So you can get hold of the songs match, basically. There's no extra tracks, but they've re-recorded. Or have they got any extra tracks? It's in a different order by the looks of it on the old album compared to the new one. So they've shifted the songs around a little bit. But you can get hold of both of those. You can get hold of the original and the new version, re-recorded version. It's got to be worth a listen as well to the original version. That'd be fun. But man, what a great song. That was Pink Rose. That was Cheating Lady. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below, guys. And I'll see you soon.